In a world where happy holidays truly exist, welcome to the Extreme Gaming Podcast.
260, December the 25th, aka Christmas, although we're recording this a couple of days early because I know some of you people may want to get away from the family and basically listen to us. I mean, God help you, I don't know which is worse. But yeah, anyway, joining me, Trev, as always, of course. Joining me on the podcast today are the usual suspects. Introduce yourself, boys.
Great Gamer 25 here, and happy holidays, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and all the others.
Merry Christmas.
Oh my God. It's James.
Christmas.
It's James Bond mixed in with someone from India. I don't know
Gold
what's going on.
member.
Oh,
Gold member. That's close.
Come on.
Yeah.
There you go. Hi, I'm Matt, also known as Irish Guardian on Twitch and Steam and Xbox.
OnlyFans?
Stuff. Only flams.
Sometimes fans.
Yeah,
Sometimes
only flans.
fans.
Partially fans. No grands.
You know,
And,
you go on to OnlyFans. Everybody's wondering what it is. They go on to OnlyFans. It's an entire thing made up of people that adore ceiling fans. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
God.
like,
How
well, look at
bad.
that baby.
Yeah.
That's a big
We-
fan.
We decided to do this. Well, actually, I decided to do it initially early because, well, we could have done the Thursday show as normal. It's Boxing Day for Matt and I in the UK, but it's not really a big holiday for us as such. But, you know, some people generally are on, like I said last time, are on their own through choice or not through choice on Christmas Day. And
Mhm.
some people like the regular routine. And I don't know about you guys, when I have to go in and do the mountain of dishes after all the cooking, I'm on the dishes because I can't cook. I hate it. So I volunteer to clean up. I need something to listen to podcast wise. So I'm glad that people are still doing podcasts. So, but yeah, like generally, Merry Christmas to those that celebrate it and to those by humbug that don't celebrate it. No, I'm only joking. Happy holidays to those that don't. But I always say, boys, everyone says happy holidays by default. And it's a shame because
I say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas by
Merry
default
Christmas.
because it's a big deal, you know.
filthy animal.
But anyway,
Oh, Happy Holidays covers all the bases. That's why.
I'll let you, Mr. Gray, if you do us a favour and give us the socials just now. I need to be 2 seconds. Introduce the
Okay.
socials for us.
On the socials, we're at YouTube, Extreme Gaming Podcasts. On Facebook, we are Extreme Gaming Podcasts. On TikTok, we are Extreme Gaming Podcasts. And X, we are not Extreme Gaming Podcasts, just Extreme Podcasts, because someone else took the name or stole it, or who knows. But in any case, plus we're probably going to be popping up on some other socials and whatnot. We're looking into what's that one? Blue Sky. Blue Sky's doing quite well for people that have left off of X, Twitter, whatever. They had somebody yesterday on the news. It was great. They were trying to talk about Twitter and X, and they go, and if you read his tweet, and then he stops and goes, X, well, his tweet on X. Like,
Yeah.
technically is all
It's
wrong.
just called bloody X.
Is
People
it still
call
a
it
tweet?
Twitter X. It's X. Get over it. The guy
Yeah.
owns it. He called it X. It's X.
No, he wasn't. But the news guy wasn't saying that to be funny. He just,
No,
it
but
just,
some people are like that.
he was stumbling over it because first he went Twitter, then he goes, I mean X, and he goes, well, the tweet on X. And then he realized, like, oh, geez.
It is still technically a tweet, I believe, guys. I believe it's still a tweet, but it's X, so it gets confusing, doesn't it? Some people say Twitter X. I can let that one slide.
We have
That
to
one's
come up. We would think that Musk would come up with something better for X. Like if he wanted to get rid of tweet, what would he put? Like exit?
Well, you know the whole reason he's got this obsession with X. It goes into something deeper than that. And one of
Yeah.
his kids is called that, or he's got a weird name, and he's got a domain. He
Yeah.
loves just X in general. So
X, SpaceX, and what else? There's probably one or two other things I'm thinking about.
But yeah, thank you, Mr. Gray. That
Smiles.
was Amazon delivery driver. How rude! He should know I'm recording a podcast.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
yeah.
Did you not tell them?
Uh,
Brought him in. You should have put him on
Yeah,
camera.
yeah.
Well, I never bought anything for you guys, so I can't really
Kick him
show
out.
what I've got. Yeah, kick him out. You can.
Yeah.
I've got the button.
Yeah.
I've got the power. Anyway,
I've got the
yeah, so it's a
power.
Christmas special if you like. If we've got the time, we'll try and kind of end it. Like Gray's got something at the end. Well, actually, what he's actually posted at the very end, we can't actually show you because that would get us kicked off YouTube. But it's a lovely picture, Gray. That's
What
what I'll
is
say.
Ooh!
It's
I know that person.
It's Santa's mistress is all I'll say, right? You just put an image in your head.
Yeah,
and we'll leave
Santa's
it at
mistress. Yes.
that.
Maybe I'll
yeah,
pop her in, you know,
we'll
on,
get-
the
we'll-
YouTube.
Where she has some candy canes.
Don't forget, we have a YouTube video podcast.
How's your snowballs?
Which is a little
Yeah.
different, right? It's a little different than the audio one. So for you guys that want to see the video one, you go over to YouTube and or Spotify, and you will see the video. And you can, and if you don't want to hear us again, just fast forward to the good part.
A quick moment on that, Gray. I meant to say this to you guys yesterday, but I may as well out you just now on the podcast for all these people to listen to. Don't worry, don't panic. It's a compliment more than anything else. Guys, if you like video podcasts, some people do, some people don't. I know some people prefer the audio, and that's where we get the most listens and downloads and whatnot. But the YouTube side of things, or Spotify, if that's your... In Spotify, it's just a swipe up and down to switch between the audio and video. It's really, really seamless. Gray puts a lot of effort into them. Actually, it's a very professional level. So when we're talking a lot of the time about a game, even if we haven't shared our screen, sometimes we'll share our screen for a trailer or something, or we'll talk about whatever game. And if we haven't even shared anything, Gray actually just cuts to a video of what we're talking about briefly. And that is part of the course when you do these things, because you subconsciously will start at least thinking a bit about what that podcaster is saying, unless you think we're all shit and you're just putting us on for the sake of it and you're not listening to us. That's possible. But if you're thinking about The Witcher, Gray will put something on to do with The Witcher in the background, and it just gives you some context, and it's a really, really good job, Gray. So thank you. We do appreciate
It did
that.
look awesome.
Yeah,
well,
I enjoy doing it.
In 4K, glorious.
4K.
Glorious definition.
Glorious, yes.
Glorious. But yeah, anyway, you're up first anyway, Gray. You get some news for us, of course.
Yeah. Now, the title, what we're talking about is best graphic cards and the top gaming GPUs. Now, this is the opinion of the author, James Archer. I wonder if he's on Star Trek. Anyway,
Jonathan.
He's he decided that, more or less what he feels would be the better card. So again, remember, this is his opinion. You could agree or not agree. But anyway, he throws up a couple of them. One of them, believe it or not, is the Intel. He puts it as the best cheap 1080p graphics card, the Intel Arc A750. And you know what? I mean, I can't doubt him. I mean, they've covered a part of PC gaming that some people just can't afford to go even 1440p. So for 1080p, it's an inexpensive card. I think you're talking under 200 or something for the card. If I remember right. So it's
bargain.
I mean, you can't beat it, and it's always better than the onboard graphics. So why not? According to here, the list price is $302.95. I was wrong about that. But in the scheme of how expensive GPUs are, that's like nothing. So that's a great thing. So that's that one. He said the best 1080p graphics card, in his opinion, and you guys can chime in whenever you want, is the GeForce RTX 4060. No supers, just 4060. He considers that being the best for 1080p. That card sells for, actually, it's a little cheaper than the Intel, which is kind of weird. It's around 300 or so, so it's about the same. For the best 1440p graphics card, that's 2K if you want to put it that way. But
it's actually not technically 2K, Gray.
Well, people call it that sometimes, but anyway,
slightly more. But yes.
So he feels that the best 1440p graphics card is a 460 Ti.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would almost kind of think, well, I'd go 4070, but then again, the 4070
that's what I was
Ti is
thinking.
so close to 4070. And mine's a super overclock, so I can do a little more. But
there's such a small margin when you get to that level, though.
Yeah,
there is such small differences, so it could be, might not be either, though. Yeah,
and the
I was
list
going to say
price
there's
is,
only like a 10% difference between the Intel one and the 4060. Just throw that in there.
Well, when they split hairs with Ti and all this, it's like 460 Ti Super. I mean, you're only talking a tiny bit of difference between all three of them.
Sometimes it's only a couple of percent, boys. You're talking about 10 there. Sometimes it's as little as 2 or 3%.
Yeah, true.
460 Ti has 8 gigs of VRAM, which these days is not enough, but I guess it's okay for 1440p maybe. I mean, I still game in 1440p, so It's only
Peasant.
160
Peasant.
watts.
Yeah.
It's like 340 pounds or $380. So that's not bad, actually,
Oh, nice. Nice.
for the price anyway. Here we go. Not sure why he does it this way, but he calls the best graphics card for ultra wide gaming monitors the 470 Super, which is mine. And I'm like, why would that be better for widescreen? I guess because it can handle it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
More pixels going across the way, so
hmm
I guess
Yeah,
wouldn't
it
be-
supports those widescreens a lot better.
So does that mean everything from 47 up is going to handle widescreens better? I guess.
Should do. Yeah.
Right.
in theory, yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Well, you're rocking 12 VRAM, so 650 watts power goes up quite a bit. 557 pounds, $600, which still isn't that bad a price at all. All right, so next is the best. Now we're getting into Trev's area. The best graphics card for 4K, he thinks, is the 4080 Super.
Yep.
Is that the one you have, or just a straight 4080? I
Oh,
forgot.
I have the Super. I don't have the Peasant 4080. No, no.
It's slightly better than Peasant, like ultra Peasant.
And 4090 is just madness. That's why. I mean, I do want the best, but I am also not mental at the same time, because what the extra you pay for the 490, you don't get in cash. You don't get that in performance. So that's why the 4080 Super is the best bang for your buck at that. Basically, I want 4K high frames. And I usually get 4K about 100 frames, but my CPU, if anything, is actually starting to let me down. So I'll upgrade, and my ultimate game goal, boys, is 4K high frames. I'll buy a 4K 240 hertz monitor well into next year, I think. And then I want to be able to have the best of both worlds. And you can with a PC. That's why we love them. Flexible.
Yeah, they're always more flexible. That's why we all like it,
Yeah. Cheaper games as well.
You want to say something, Matt? I didn't know if you were wanting to.
Mostly. Yeah. No, that's pretty much it. Just about that. Card. Oh, hello.
All right, let's see what he picks next. Or does that end it? Oh, okay. I guess that ended it. You didn't go. You didn't go any further than that. I thought maybe you would, but no, you didn't.
No, because there's nothing to go up. There's nothing to go above. There's the beginners level, entry level, mid range, and high range. That's all really three categories you can go for. You could get an honorable mention for just a couple of the Intel graphics cards in general. The one you discussed, Gray, and the one we discussed last week, because they are good for video encoding. We were talking about codecs. Taro was talking about that in the chat last week, and he'll be joining us next podcast, I believe, as well. So he's good for the technical stuff. He knows more than we do. So
I'll tell you one thing that I never really thought about, and it wasn't the reason I got the 4070 Super, but now that I've been editing a lot more and using Adobe Premiere, etc., wow, when it goes the output export, even in 4K, if it was a 2-hour podcast in 4K, only takes about 35 minutes, maybe, and then even less. Sometimes it'll go even faster. That's really good, because not long ago you used to have to wait quite a while.
Oh yeah,
for it to do that. And that's has a lot to do with Adobe and a lot to do with the card for sure. But I noticed the difference right away. I was like, wow, that's nice.
Gray, see the guys in Hollywood that do the special effects work, and the guys at Pixar and whatnot that do the special effects. Maybe not as much now, but back in the day, certainly, you would think, how did they make those movies like a couple of 2-3 decades ago when PC power wasn't as powerful? It wasn't. They would literally take them hours to render one scene, days to render one scene. Now it's a lot quicker. Sorry, I've just literally spat on my monitor. That's disgusting, Trevor. They took forever to render things, and now they are quicker. But still, when they're making those big special effect numbers in Hollywood, even with the latest state, because they will always have the best hardware and software, they have to. It'll still take them a long while to, after they make it, encode it, export it. Takes forever, all that stuff. So respect.
I can remember even when because my career has been in broadcast, but when I started my career like 30 years ago or more, I can remember some of the equipment. What was that? I didn't hear it.
One of those manual reels.
No, that's another story. That's another story. But I remember when they first started coming out with computerized graphics for broadcast use. Simple little things now, like just flying something in or making something do whatever, it would take a couple of hours or or more
Wow.
just to render. So the client would go, "Oh, that's a pretty good effect," and they go like, "All right, come back tomorrow; it'll all be done."
And it'll cost you $1 million.
That's right, $1 million.
$1 million.
Oh, it was it was expensive. Wait, okay,
Yeah.
Make sure all of us did.
Gotta get it done properly, man.
Yeah.
I always like talking about hardware anyway. You know that. I could talk ages about hardware, but we try and get a mixed bag on this podcast because some people don't like all the technical, geeky stuff. I sadly do. But before I get into my section, what is this, Matt, about Valve rumors? I'm intrigued. He's forgotten what he put in it, I bet you. This.
Well, you kind of missed quite a bit there.
What did we miss?
I'm joking, mate. I'm joking. I'm fucking.
That's all the way down there.
He's pulling your leg.
My bit's up there.
I'm pulling your leg, man. I'm just seeing if you were ready or not.
You're trying to
He's on the
play
ball,
me
though.
like a cracker.
Hey,
on
man,
Cut your
Matt
full
follows
cracker,
those
not leg.
notes, man. He knows how to
I
follow
do.
those
I
notes.
have to.
Matt
That's
does have something on the agenda, but he doesn't have Valve rumors yet. Actually, that's
I
later
do.
on.
I can do that now if you want.
You have something about Alien Incursion. Is that the one where
Game reviews.
the cult thing and Eat Me? Is that
the
game?
VR?
No, this is the VR one. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the
I
new
wanna
one
hear
that
about
came
this,
out.
'cause
To hell with playing that game. I really don't want to purposely shit myself.
It's
No,
not bad. As long as you got a nappy, it's all good.
I wouldn't play Alien. Is it Alien Isolation, the one from a few years ago?
Yeah.
I turned that off after 15 minutes. I went, that not a chance. Why would you purposely do that to yourself? And then to do it in VR. I mean, nah.
Yeah, I did that in the Nostromo DLC.
what mode?
Oh, the Nostromo DLC on Isolation, where you're doing Ripley's thing. It's brilliant. It is scary.
Did you play some of the game then? So what happened in the Incursion?
Yeah. So Incursion,
Give us the goods and the bads. And
the
in between.
beds and the differences and the things that they've been chatting about and making me sweat. Yeah.
Mhm.
So as we know, Rogue Incursion is developed by Servios, which is set in the wonderful, beloved Alien franchise, which we all love, which immerses the players in a tense, action-packed environment. Tense is the right word for it. I'll get into that part. So you're navigating this facility that has xenomorphs infestation going on. Players are taking the role of Zulu Hendrix, who's an old colonial marine, with a synth partner called Davis, who's something else. He is definitely something else.
A synth partner, a robot.
Synth.
You can't have an
Why?
alien suit without an android somewhere.
So because
It's not an Ash
is it
model.
because he has he has a like I'm thinking Red Dwarf, sorry, where he has a detachable Yoo-hoo, you know.
Kinda.
Remember that Crichton
somewhere down
has
the
a
game he might do.
detachable-
Yeah.
And then he can reattach like various components like whisks for like omelets and stuff down there in his groinal attachment.
That would have been happened
Wait a
handy.
minute, groinal attachment. I like that.
Yeah.
Remember that? You haven't seen all Red Dwarf. Carry
I
on,
was
Mr.
going to be
Matt.
kind and say
Let me just whisk
changing-
this.
I was going to say he's been changing his rods lately, and you just go right for the groinal attachment.
That's what it's called. That is what it's called. Groinal attachment.
It is 1001
okay.
groin attachments. Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, fake boyfriend. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in this game, it's exploration, it's puzzle solving and combat. You have to find key cards, upgrade clearances, and progress deeper into this facility and fending off xenomorphs, which is quite fun. You get a variety of weapons. No, you don't. You get a few weapons. You get like you got your revolver and you got the pulse rifle, which is lovely to use. And then I think somewhere down the game you might actually get a shotgun from Davis, which is at times because of him. But anyways, there you go. You got your tools like Datapad, which gives you a map, and you use that on machines to save your game as well. So you go into this panic room. This panic room's all scattered around different areas of where you're going. Some are easier to get to, some are hard to get to. And you have to unlock the doors with a little puzzle of a fuse box, and you have to change the wires around. So once you're in there, you save your game. Hopefully the little lockers in there have something that you need, and you can read notes or lore from the data pads and computers and disks that you find around the game.
Does the lore give you any kind of clues, or is it just the same garbage?
The discs kind of give you clues to find certain things. So you have to find data disks, throughout the environment, which will lead you to certain aspects of your mission, sort of thing. Which is quite fun.
I had one question.
Yeah.
Did you play it long enough to get a real jump scare somewhere?
Kind of jump scares. I'd say is not really a jump scare type of thing. I think it's the intensement is by the amount of aliens that are coming at you.
Oh,
Pretty much. I mean, at the very beginning, I was very apprehensive, and I had my motion tracker out and just walking around.
You get arrested for that, getting your motion tracker.
Yeah. Some people, I identify it as a motion tracker, so it's fine. It's my little walking stick.
That is the term though in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. So I find that it's kind of has that little element, but not as much as Isolation or other. Alien versus Predator has a little bit of a better scare thing, I think, and that's gone back quite a while. That is, but yeah, I think it's more of the onslaught of aliens that are coming to you, and they just pop up, sort of thing, and respawn as well. If you stay in an area so long, then they keep coming back at you. Which is what I do, because I want to check everywhere. I want to go through everything. I want to see because in boxes you'll find things as well, randomly. So I spend a lot of time in certain areas, and then of course aliens will start coming back at you, sort of thing.
Do you in VR? Do you hear it like breathing behind you as it comes closer?
You hear it walking on, on the rooftops, on the ceiling.
That wasn't an alien. That was me.
I knew there was something behind me.
That's cool though. So is it spatial? So
Yeah.
in other words, like if it's walking above you or on the side,
it's called Dolby Atmos, Chris.
Yeah. So pretty much, you got vents as well, so you'll hear it kind of clicking on the vents, and how.
I thought you said feds. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh, Jesus,
not
them
again.
could run. Yeah, yeah. So you've also got that the side little light thing, which is awesome. The sound is great in game for shooting the pulse rifle, that type of stuff. At the beginning, I was disappointed in the sound and the aesthetics, because your ship's getting attacked by a missile, and it sounds like something from a 12-year-old, pretty much. When you make the noise and that's it. You don't feel any. If you're hit by a missile, you're gonna judder around and you'll hear a bigger explosion. This is more like a kapow. There you go. Nothing big. And I was just like, it's very disappointing. The size of the ship and the cockpit panels versus you is a mismatch. The characteristics of the displays, the buttons, are a bit not alien-esque. You know what I mean? It's not that 80s style aliens in the Nostromo, all that stuff, and you're sort of thing,
kind of breaks
the nostalgic thing that you
yeah, which is what I was really looking forward to. So that kind of is a bit of
for the patch.
yeah. Well, they did quite a few hot fixes because there are bugs with it as well, unfortunately, which I'll get into now. Actually, yeah. So other than repetitive puzzle sequences, lack of enemy variety, because you're seeing just drones here, there, boom, boom, boom. There's no certain different ones. They might bring that further up in the game, maybe. I know I'm kind of like midway through, because I spent quite a bit of on last night. I was like, I'm not going to poop myself this time. I'm going to go and carry on. So yeah, there's quite a few bugs with your hands and the guns. So you'll be trying to hold the gun, and it'll be going off this way or that way, sort of thing. If you haven't cocked to the weapon, you can't hold it or anything, so you have to make sure you've done that so you can hold it properly. The eye versus where you're shooting sometimes doesn't line up. Sometimes your hands will glitch, so you can't actually pick up anything, which is a bit of a nightmare. But they did a hot fix for that, which is quite nice. Davis, I don't know how he does his job. He's got his eyes closed 99% of the time. He's walking along. He's got his eyes closed. I'm like, Davis, open your freaking eyes, mate. We got aliens here, man. We're in trouble. We're in the deepest shite here.
Maybe he's just using the force or something.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
He's right in a different
game there, mate. Yeah, he's like, I don't want to.
I can see fine.
You think yourself, Matt? How does this happen? Like we know how, but like I don't get this right. More than one person will report this, so it's more of a widespread issue.
Yeah.
They obviously are supposed to test games before they come out, especially VR games. How do several people in that studio testing games out before not pick that up? I mean, come
I
on.
find big companies are very lazy at testing. Like they'll, even with my company, when we're testing something, I'll find out in the end only 2 or 3 people have tested this nonsense.
And who do you work for again, Matt? I'm joking.
No.
Just get your sack live in there.
Apple. And things go awry, and they're like, "Oh, but we tested it," and it's like, how? And then you find out it's only a couple of people, and you're like, "Oh, you're nuts."
Yeah.
So they. Yeah. So I find that with companies. So I'm feeling maybe it's that way around. For that.
Disappointing.
Yeah, it is kind of exciting game. In the adventurous side of it and the action side things. There's not enough ammo in this place, especially for me. I find I'm always running out.
Are you firing blanks, son?
I'm always firing blanks everywhere I go. Thank God Davis, with his one eye, no eyes, magical shooting fanatic.
Thank God you didn't go there. Thank God for that. Yeah.
So is Davis more of a vendor? You just go to him and say like, "Hey, you got some stuff for me?"
No, you can't do anything with them. You can't interact with them yet, sort of. You can do, but that's a different story. You'll have to see. Let's just say, poor. He ends up like every other synth in Aliens, to be honest. He's either in half or you have to plug him in.
Plug him in? How long does it take to charge? Is it, what is it? Was he run on like some Duracells or? Well, you know how Ash, you have to like in what's that? The new Aliens film where they plug him in. Romulus? And Bishop, where they plug him in by the ear, and ask, "What the hell happened here?" And he's like, "Oh, well, you went off on a magical date with an alien, and you're the mama, baby." Sort of thing. So, yeah. So there's that. Unfortunately, sound is just other than the pulse rifle, aliens walking around and all that stuff, that's pretty good. Where the visuals are pretty good as well. When we talk about like this facility, the lighting, the fog, steam, things happening, broken items, sort of thing, is pretty good.
Do you think that they paid more attention to just kind of heading straight forward to the aliens and ignored everything else?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's kind of lacking in certain aspects. Like when you're getting there, this character and everybody, they know there's a Xeno thing going on, and they're there to investigate it. So I was like, oh, is it going to be one of those where, oh my God, what the hell is this? And try and save whoever, sort of thing. But no, apparently they're working with Ripley's daughter to investigate the Xeno threat and Weyland Yutani type of thing. So
that was the chick from the last game, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Is this following on from that game then?
It kind of is, yeah. They're using it as a follow-on type of story, but it is. That leads me on to another thing. This has got quite a few people's heads turned. It's a part 1, people. It's a part 1.
The game is remember, a part 1?
Is a part 1. Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when we were looking at the game, when we trailered it, or saw the trailer, when I pre-ordered it and everything, it did not have part 1 on it. It was just Aliens Rogue Incursion. That was it, wasn't it?
So you only found out later? They should have said something.
Yeah. So yesterday, when I was looking into all this stuff, and I was looking, I was like, oh, these bugs are a bit annoying. Let me have a look online, sort of thing. And then I saw that it has part 1 on it, and I was like, what the heck is this part 1? Which is issue. It's quite concerning. Where this is going to be, because we're told this is the game, sort of thing, and now it's a part 1. But I've got to say, I did do a review on Steam, and Cerberus, has posted a message back saying that part 1 is not half of a game. It's indeed built as a standalone product, with a part 2 continuing from that story and escalating the experience.
Okay.
We'll have more to announce at a later date. So this is coming out in 2025.
So I'm assuming there's going to be DLC that's going to be the part 2.
Yeah, or
Yes.
second part rather than
Yeah,
part 2.
yeah.
Yeah. So they never meant to mislead anybody, the community, whoever bought the game, but they completely understand where our frustrations are, and they do apologize for that. I also had another person actually send their response as well. Some gamer, Luna, who said, is a late admission that this is only a part 1 with the game, and it doesn't offer a horde or roguelike mode, and the price is quite high for having it being a part 1. So they're going to wait for the game to go on sale, as they think that it's a bit too much money to be spending on just a part 1 of a game.
Well, from the way you've explained it, some of the things that are not there or are not what they should be, I wouldn't
Seem
want
to
to pay
be.
that kind of price either. I
Yeah,
mean, some of the
absolutely.
things that you told me are that are not that are missing or not done well is already kind of a letdown.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I kind of like it though because I've got no ammo. I'm up to the teeth with aliens everywhere, and the only person who's saving my ass is Davis. And I know his demise is coming soon.
And he does it with his eyes
Unfortunately.
closed the whole
He
time.
does it with his eyes closed. He's a
Amazing.
miracle. Didn't work. He should have just gone there on his own. I'd stay on the ship and fix it. Me. Yeah.
Wow.
So there you
Okay.
go. Yeah, it's quite a good game. Bit pricey now, knowing that it's just part 1, but it is a standalone game, and it should be. I think somebody said it was quite. Was it 6 to 9 hour game play in there?
6
but
to
I
9
think
hours. That's it?
yeah. But I
And how
think
much
it's more
do
than
they
that.
charge?
That's normal for VR
33.
games, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but what do they
You-
charge?
£33 something. Yeah,
That's-
Yeah,
that's
they're
not
way
too bad.
cheaper than normal games, VR
Yeah,
games, to
yeah.
compensate.
yeah. I mean, but the way it's going, it's good. It's nice. I'm still enjoying it. I had to message back the developer saying, you know what, if there was like a Steam needed to bring in a middle button, the meh button, I would have given it that. Yeah.
Right.
Rather than a thumbs down.
Well, if
Just
you-
for that.
I got an idea for if Batman Arkham Knight, was it Arkham Knight? That was the VR? Okay.
Shadow.
So,
Arkham
so
Shadow.
if that was like a 10, because I know you really liked it, and it won best VR of the year. If that's a 10, where would you put this game then?
I'd put it as probably as an 8.
Oh,
8.5.
that's
You
that's
go
not
that high?
bad. That's
What-
not a meh. A meh is like 5 or 6 or
Oh
something.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. You were
Well, a
gonna
bit
go.
better than a meh. Maybe it was just
That's good
Yeah.
then, rather than
no,
amazing
yeah, but
thumbs up.
yeah, it's half and half. But
Okay.
but more than that, yeah, because it's
like
playable.
Like
It's fun.
this?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Let's do that kind of thing. Woohoo! So yeah, yeah. I mean, it's playable. I'm still enjoying it, even with these niggly bits and the sound. As long as we don't go on any ships, the doors are awesome when they open up. They do feel like they're alien-esque. There's save points and some screens that are covered in blood. You have to swipe the blood away from the screen, which is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
That they actually
That's
put
cool.
that through. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, it's pretty good.
How
Let's
much
add
have
some
you
more.
played of it? How much have you the
Quite
game,
a
roughly?
bit. Quite a bit.
Okay.
Actually, I've got it on here, and Steve will actually tell me because
Oh, it
I
does
play it on
actually,
the
yeah.
Quest 3. I've actually swapped back to my Rift though.
Really?
Just because the batteries. Well, there's no battery needed, so
You
it's
need
better that way.
you need one of those headset extender battery thingies.
they
Yeah,
have the little
absolutely.
packs. I think I bought one.
Yeah.
Pack
So
thing.
what's happened actually now? I keep getting open XR warnings coming up on the game. So they've added that to it because normally I could like air link it and play it
Oh, yeah.
without any problems, and then this warnings now start coming up because
What
I
does it
think
mean?
they've heard us. They're just adding an extra. Oh, you need to buy the link cable to do this.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a bit
Ridiculous.
nonsensical. Yeah. So
You
don't
don't
listen to them.
you don't need that cable. Everyone thinks you
don't.
do. You just need a USB-C USB Type C cable.
You need one that can carry good data.
Yeah, so
on there, so
Thunderbolt
you need-
3 and above probably would do the job
I've got a Thunderbolt 3 here that I use
because it does
for
the
backing
power
other
at the
things.
same time.
Yeah, but it hasn't worked on that.
The
so
the handy
maybe-
thing about the Oculus one though is it's got the little
Mhm.
90-degree angle thing, so that when it's plugged into your headset, it's not sticking out like a cable like this. It's kind of coming at and down.
at an
So
angle.
it's handy.
Yeah,
But it's always good to do the air link if you can, because Steam allow you to do it for free now. If you've got a good router and you're
Mhm.
close to your router, it will connect to it pretty well.
It
You
still
can
works
test it before.
fine. Just click on those warning messages. Do not show again. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
It
jog
still
on.
works well. Yeah, jog on. That would be set. Yeah, nah. So I've only played 4.4 hours of the game already.
Okay, that's still decent. No, that's about half. So you've done well, mate.
It is
Done
yeah,
well.
Yeah.
When's Greg going to play his?
Yeah, come on, man.
The Quest 3, that is. When are you?
Yeah.
You've got this headset that you never seem to fucking touch.
I know. I've had so many other
Collecting
things I'm doing.
dust.
I haven't had a chance. I gotta do it, but I will. The day I do it, you guys will be going like, yay.
We'll be as great as you.
No, we'll be on to like the fucking Meta Quest 7 or something by then.
At that price, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Metaphor.
we will be in that VR.
Yeah, I just thought about that. When they go to the metaphor, it's a metaphor. Get it? Metaphor. Oh, hey.
Moving on.
Yeah.
But
Swiftly
unfortunately,
and
we're coming
quickly.
right back to him because it's grey up now with some Witcher 4 news, which to be fair, I gave him, but then he loves The Witcher, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
What's
actually,
happening
I
with
had read this article before, but I didn't think about it. And you put it in before even I could, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're finding out, which I'm happy about, is people have been wanting to know, even though this is way early, is the game a huge game? Is the map huge? Is it going to last a while? How many hours? So the devs came out basically and said that the map is going to be as large as Witcher 3, which is a big map. So that's a good thing to hear. So if it's going to be that or even larger, that's better. But it's definitely going to be not smaller. So that was a big plus. And then they were trying to figure out, roughly the hours involved in doing the game. And if it depends how much of a fan you are and how much you like to run around and discover junk. But you got to figure that the game that Witcher 3 was about with the DLCs was probably a good, for me, closer to more 100 hours. And they were stating that it's going to be pretty similar. So the length of time should not be anything really less as far as what's going to be involved. And for the way they do games, especially with Witcher, they really get heavy into the choices making a difference. I mean, when I played Witcher 3, there came a choice in the game whether I wanted to make Yennefer the main squeeze or whether I wanted to make the other one, the redhead, the main squeeze, and I just went with the redhead, even though most people tended to go with Yennefer. So things in the game were a little different. Also, I'm not really spoiling anything as Witcher 3 has been out so long. There are 3 different endings for Ciri in the game. One is she goes off and becomes, or is being the princess. She went off and did her princess thing. One was where she went off and became a Witcher.
Another one, she turns into decent AI in the end.
Yeah. So all these things, are in the game. So if you played the game, if I remember right, I played the game where she went off. I don't think I had the ending where she became a Witcher. So having this part of the game be the fact that she already is a Witcher doesn't bother me at all because it's a great thing to do, and I'm very happy about her being the protagonist. But that's one of the fun things about the game is that it brings in some replayability, because if you want to go back and see certain other things, you're not going to see it unless the decisions you made were a little different. So a lot of people that have more time than I do will go back on games like this and they'll say, look, in mission number XYZ, choose this one, and in mission XYZ, choose this answer, and that will give you the outcome that you want to see. These days with YouTube now, you just go on and, let me see all 3 endings for Ciri. They'll just show it to you.
Where's the fun in that? Honestly, I don't like.
Right, exactly. You want to replay and see if there's any missions. I'm sure in Witcher 3, there probably maybe, I don't know, 6 missions that I never ran because I never knew about them, but via the choices that I made. So I never saw them. It's almost kind of like how you see these articles where people are still playing Skyrim after all these years, and all of a sudden you say players played for 10,000 hours and finally found a whatever it was. And I got to give them credit. When they made the game back then, they put a gazillion Easter eggs all over the place, and there's probably still more stuff that people are going to find in the coming years. Who knows? But I think that's kind of cool because it gives you, especially people that really are into it for the discovery mode, and everything. So that's kind of cool.
Love games like
I was
that.
happy about that. They also people with one of the main things they brought up right away. Can you romance like you did in Witcher 3? Because there was some things in Witcher 3 that back then was a little different because it was more on the adult side of stuff. There was one scene where which I did have the mission and got this scene
When you
where
get your joystick out.
he meets a woman who's kind of like I guess an Amazonian, bigger girl or whatever, and she looked great. I mean, the character, and he decided to have a little fun with her. Let's just put it that way. And of course, all that's in there.
Yes.
And when you romance your whoever in the game, they aren't afraid to really put in the R rating.
Well, just remember the bath scene, people. Geralt in
Yep,
there.
exactly.
You don't know what's going on under that water. You don't know if he's thinking of Yennefer or his lunch, or you don't have a clue.
That's no soap in
Right.
his hands.
So they did want everybody to know that that's exactly what's going to happen in this game too. They said that romance was an important part of the last game in certain decisions that you had to make, and it's going to be again the same way. I don't know if you guys probably haven't heard about it because you haven't played the game like I did, but on Witcher 3 there was a scene near the end where if I remember correctly, Geralt was with whichever one, the redhead or the Yennefer. So it's either or, and there's a scene in the bedroom where they're having a good time and da da da. And I believe, if I remember right, I think they wanted to tie him to the bedpost and stuff and make it more exciting. But they said
Kinky.
there was a scene if
Put that in
depending
your
on
VR.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Well, there was a scene depending
that
on the
mod up.
choices. And I heard this was a scene that was very difficult. Unless you made the right choices, you won't see the scene. But there was a scene where instead of it being one or the other showing up, both show up and they tie him to the bed and then they leave. And because they're mad at him, and they want to play a trick on him, and they just take off and he's stuck there like, tied to the bed. And I was like, well, that's cool. I want to
Called a threesome in Witcher. Wow.
It was gonna be. That's what he was probably expecting, but girl,
Yeah.
bye, and they left.
I'll definitely give a coin to my singer for that one. Yeah.
Yep. Flip the coin.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. But anyway, the point is that there is going to be romancing. There's going to be a lot of choices to be made, and we'll reflect that in the game. So all that is good news for fans of Witcher, but also just fans of those type of RPG games anyway. So that's cool. So that's pretty much it on other news for that. So.
Cool. I know there'll be a lot more Witcher news that will come up between now when it comes out. Undoubtedly, It's going to be a big game when it comes out. I just hope they avoid. I'd imagine it'll come out after. Yeah, it'll come out after GTA 6. Because everyone's avoiding them like the plague. Like if you're a couple of weeks either side of their release date of GTA 6, publishers are already pulling out, going, no, we'll go for another day. We're getting our is our doctor's appointment on that date? Yeah, we'll come out another day. I think. Yeah.
The only bummer about GTA 6 I'm not a fan of the game, but is the fact that they're not going to even go on PC for another couple of years after they release it. So on console,
that's ridiculous at this time of age.
I know, and that kind of sucks. I'm sitting there going like, "What? You gotta be kidding me!" Why would you do that?
Makes more bang for the buck.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of
sense.
I
think it's a loss for the buck right there, because why would you not want it to premiere on as many things as you can? I mean, a PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC. You should put it out on all of them all at one time. But I guess apparently they're not thinking that way. So, I don't know.
Well, funny, you mentioned the Switch there. That leads me to a news article that I've got here, which I found amusing. When I first read it, I read it too quickly, as I sometimes do, and I read it as Black Myth Wukong coming to Nintendo Switch. And I was like, what? That's going to run at like 2 frames. No way, not happening. We were talking about imitation games recently, that imitation game for Horizon. I can't remember what it's fucking called. And we've got another imitation game coming out. We're getting quite a few of these now, boys.
Yeah.
So
they're all popping up now.
And
I don't know if that's a healthy trend, but anyway.
Well, as long you don't want to be, as long as it's not Nintendo IP, you might be fine. Because they literally, I think they are secretly a law company fronting as a games company. They're really a law firm. They're that good at what they do, suing people's asses. No, Black Myth Wukong Imitator listed on the Nintendo eShop, right? It's it's called Wukong. It's literally called Wukong, right?
God.
Sun Black Legend. Wukong Sun
Oh,
Black
please, are you
Legend.
serious?
You're like, what? And it's got a monkey man at the front, but instead of the normal monkey man, it's like a monkey man with like a big Viking beard. And
A Viking monkey man. All
he,
right.
he looks like what's the best way to describe him? He looks like he's put some hair in his some gel in his hair, and he's like old afroed up to the max. Actually, I'll quickly share this with you boys because this actually cracks me up. What you see this?
I can't believe they named it like that. That's just like, oh no!
Look at this
come
geezer.
on.
Look at
No.
this geezer, man. Yeah.
Jeez.
He looks like a well-aged Wukong.
It looks like it's right out of Planet of the Apes, the movie.
yeah,
I don't have a problem trying imitation games because this is only
but this is not just.
It's
I don't know.
$8, but it's going to be crap because it's
Yeah.
on the Switch. When the Switch 2 will have more grunt and be able to run it better, but just
$8.
not. Well, it's due for
That's a
release.
good price.
Yeah, $8. That's what I'm saying. Cheap. It's 2D action as well, so this is going to be absolutely honking.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be really bad. It's out on December 26th, so I'm going to check out a video for that when it comes out.
Yeah,
because
that's gonna be funny.
literally 3 days from now recording this.
I predict pure junk.
So I'll read out the official blurb, right, just for a laugh, right? Embark on an epic journey to the west in Wukong Sun Black Legend. Step into the role of the immortal Wukong, the legendary Monkey King, to see battles through a chaotic world teeming with powerful monsters and untold dangers. Explore a story inspired by Chinese mythology, filled with action-packed battles, stunning environments, and legendary foes that will all run in 5 frames a second. No,
I was just gonna say, or it'll all be 16-bit.
That cracks me up, man. Just like the thing is, though.
Whoa, did you see that? Look,
no,
go back down.
Get away with it.
Look, there's an advertisement already for Black Myth Wukong on the same article.
I take this with a pinch of salt. They are talking about Black, because that's the normal monkey man, right? That we were just saying.
Right.
Yeah. Black Myth Wukong DLC reportedly scheduled for 2025.
Of course it should be.
Now, this is older news. That's why I didn't go over it. It's like from the 16th of September. It probably will come out. And I don't think these guys will probably bother suing the imitators because I think it's going to be
too shite.
But they're a smaller Chinese studio as well that don't really have the same kind of clout. So,
I'll tell you,
I found that interesting.
Just to interject for a second, when you're talking about Black Myth Wukong and being an imitator, here's where they get away with stuff a little bit. The Chinese mythology is nothing new. It's been around for thousands of years. So you can kind of get away with stuff going like, well, we're just making our version of the same guy, and you can get away with it because anybody can take Chinese mythology and do whatever they want. However, to name the game what they named it, I mean, oh my god! And then they make the guy look like almost exactly, or maybe the real Monkey Man's brother or something.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like.
They will get away with it.
But while we're on this, though, I want to get your guys' opinions of this. Now,
oh god, tangent coming up, tangent alert, tangent alert.
No, this goes along the lines of Imitator Games, since this is all coming to front here. I have seen games that I wouldn't say imitated, but were done in the, let's say, in the style, perhaps, or borrowed. I mean, games are always borrowing from each other, so that's nothing unusual there.
Borrowed.
Right, but when you saw the Lights of Motrium or whatever, I mean, it isn't just a borrowing; it's almost a direct one-for-one ripoff.
Of course, Power World's the biggest example of that.
That is big, yeah.
The most obvious one.
Yeah, but you know what? Light of Motrium is actually more of a ripoff than Power World. Power World, at least, really have their creatures doing quite different stuff that normal Pokemon would never do.
They've got guns. That's a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's more of a departure.
Pikachu sticking you up. Sorry, carry on.
But Lightstream is as a flat 1-to-1 ripoff in a lot of areas. I mean, even to the grass. I was like, I'm sitting there watching.
Is it out?
Going,
is it out? Have you played it or something? Is it out? That's the game.
No, I saw the gameplay trailers and stuff that are out and whatnot. But I mean, the grass in Horizon, they have it's a hiding mechanism. You have the regular green grass, right? And then you have this grass that has like these orange tops to it. All looks natural. But the orange ones are the ones you can hide in, so the character can go in there and hide. So when I watched the clips of this of Lights of Motion or whatever, there it is, exactly green grass and the same exact grass. I'm talking exact. With the red tops or orange tops to it, and you hide in them. I'm like, wow, man, they're they just basically are imitating and not even caring what anybody thinks. I mean, just flat out imitation kind of.
Yeah, if they're a small studio that won't sell
Yeah.
much, they tend to not worry about you unless you earn a lot of money, and then they'll come after you.
I mean, and one guy was funny. He was doing a little review on what he saw, and he pegged it pretty good. He says, if you had told me
Who's
that this
pegging?
was
What?
the what?
Ooh.
Who's pegging what?
Nothing. Carry on.
So he basically said, look, if someone told me that this was an Horizon game and they didn't say anything about Lights of Motion or anything, I would have fallen for it and said, oh, new Horizon game, cool. He said, but now saying that though, the game could be absolutely amazing to play, so I'll still play it. And it was Osmongold. That's the guy that's got like 4 million subscribers. And he even came out and he said it kind of like what we all said on our podcast a couple of weeks ago. Is that he said, I agree with everybody that it is a complete ripoff in many areas. He said, but if it's really good, I don't care. I'll play it. And I'll say the same thing. I mean, as much as I kind of wonder why they had to do it that way, I'll play it if it's really good. But you know what? It's going to have to be really good, because if you're going to imitate a game on purpose because you're obviously trying to get the Horizon fans to buy your game, then you better make it good. But I'll tell you, some of the gameplay I saw, it did look pretty good. So
I wouldn't rule out trying these things. Of course, I mean, why wouldn't? I'd be madness to. But I'm not going to play it just because I'm so loyal to this franchise. No, if it's good, I don't care.
The thing that they are putting in the game that is different than Horizon is there's a whole building mechanic behind it. You can build bases. You can,
and that's why they won't go to jail.
Nice.
It's a significant enough change that you don't go to jail.
And that's kind of cool. So it could lend itself to some co-oping, which would be fun. So we'll see when it does come out. But anyway, just want to see what you guys thought about that.
Yeah. Well, I got 2 shots for it. Cheap shot for doing a game that's already been done, sort of thing. You're trying to get that easy money from there, but it also teaches the big boys. There's other alternatives. So you got the high expensive games, AAA size, price tags, and then you got these guys that are doing this, and then with a lower price tag. So it kind of like goes, we can do this, but we can do it for this price. You need to buck up your ideas, so people are just going to keep coming down this way, this alleyway. So for that way, it's pretty good. But since they're adding extras to the game as well, I think it's its own thing, and I think they've gone that extra step on top of that to add that thing, which is actually quite exciting and interesting that you can actually build a base on there. So yeah.
I love base building. That's what
we've
been doing.
Interesting.
We've been playing a bit of Rust once or twice a week, and we'll probably be playing some after this, and showing the boys the ropes, having a bit of fun, get up to some shenanigans, and I'm going to take them on a big adventure in a submarine, I think.
Sub, so that has me going now. Sub.
Yeah.
Sub?
I got wetsuits and
Aqualungs.
Boys.
Yeah.
Speaking of what the adventure I'm going to take you on, what is long and hard and full of semen?
Your sock.
A submarine.
That was my second guess.
That's an old joke.
No, but that's what I'm taking. Yeah, it's a submarine. I'm taking you under the water, boys. I'm
as long as it's not the sock, I don't mind.
where you don't really know, I'm going to actually just shove you out the airlock as like cannon fodder for the shark. There is sharks down there, by the way. Squeaky bum time.
In the torpedo shoots.
That's it. I want to jump in a torpedo tube with a spear and just hold it out in front of me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
shoot me that shark right there.
Oh, okay, great. Then you wake up. Right, we'll move on, boys. We'll move on, lads. You guys have played this a little bit, and I reinstalled it. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever play it again, but I mean, why not? Once Human, which the guys played a little bit more of it, a good bit more than myself actually. Who am I kidding? I've got like only 14 hours or so in the game. but they actually announced 3 new scenarios, what they call the equivalent of like chapters, I guess. New scenarios, and a mobile phone release as well. Now, games like this don't work in mobile. Mobile for me is, I was playing, and I might actually start reviewing the odd game. I was playing a game yesterday called Monopoly Go, which I thought would be crap.
I
It's
played
actually
it.
pretty good fun. Games like that where you hold the phone up this way so that, and you're just, or like the running games or like simple games like Tetris or something that are built for phones. I know the latest phones can actually handle more power, but it's the controls. Unless you plug it into a controller, it's shit. And I don't commute, so I don't bother about these mobile games, but they're massive. Again, we know why Microsoft bought over Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, for COD, but also for their mobile phone division because they've got Candy Crush. And it's massive, boys. It's the mobile industry is massive for gaming. It's really big. It's as biggest in China. And I think it's because you get a lot more variety of phones over there. And I don't know, like, I don't claim to know what level of finances folk have in China, but certainly mobile gaming is a cheaper alternative. So a lot of people will game on that instead of buying a big fancy gaming PC or the latest games console.
The profit margins are a lot higher on mobile, so that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's true.
I get it.
That's very true. In fact, what I'll probably do, it'll be a lot easier as well, because I'll go over this like briefly, and then Gray might be able to find something relevant video-wise to actually stick in here.
I thought Once Human was already a mobile game ages ago.
I think it was just a kind of a beta thing that was getting trialed and whatnot. This is the actual proper release, I think. But I'll show you I won't show you this video clip here because it's a live stream and it's 25 minutes long. It's not a trailer.
Yeah. I can put some of that in later. But...
Yeah, you'll find, I know Gray will find something relevant to put in for sure. So yeah, this does come out next year instead. It's not, it was delayed a little bit. I mean, the game is free, so I can't really complain too much. But essentially, we've got a little roadmap here, which if I zoom in a little bit, I'll be able to see it. Right, there we go. That's much better. So we actually see the roadmap for pretty much the whole of next year. And the 3 new scenarios we've got in January alone are featured here. Actually, are they there? No, they're not. That's some of the features as well. So they've got a gender change, which is controversial. Some people get really riled up about this. Some people, just like us, just get on with it. But it's a big deal, boys. Some people get really... Like Rust, for example, you can't change your gender. And the reason being, you're given one by default when you get into the game, because the game's developer, Gary, said, well, you can't choose your birth when you're born. So that's what he was basing it off of. And if you want another character, you have to buy another copy of the game. And you may get another chick, you may get another guy, you don't know. So, but yeah, so new scenarios as well. External land escape room parts. Now, I mean, that sounds horrific, whatever the hell that is. We've got Lunar Oracle as well. A couple of more scenarios there. Part of the Lunar Oracle themed version.
Well, you know what? I just saw what I'm noticing in February, March. It says custom
That's more
server.
interesting. Yeah.
Well,
that's been delayed for a long time. We were wanting that at the very start, because the problem is when we were playing, that's one of the things that put me off about the game. The servers were all named like PVE Europe 101 dash blah 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 blah, and it just went down on a list like that. The naming convention was awful. So when we were trying to tell people that want to join us what to go on, you literally had to almost phonetically spell out the bloody server name so they could join you. And even then, it was full a lot of the time, boys, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What you saying, Matt?
Yeah, and then join another world on top of that one.
Oh yeah, it was piss poor attempt.
I still think, even though I really like the game a lot, I still think that was the most confusing thing. I mean, you're sitting there, I mean, go to the world, end this, and that. And I'm like, I just want to go, like one boom.
And then having to do the exact same tutorial over and over again. Yeah. This is why I didn't get back into the the winter season. I love the look of it. Lucy's been playing it, been trying to get into it with him, and it's just too much at the time. I was just like, and then I ended up deleting it and playing other games as usual.
I'm really curious when custom server comes, we're gonna have to check it out then, because some people
we
that are
could
pretty,
do.
you
I
know,
think it'd
pretty
be worth
brainy.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, that's in February and March, and then the mobile release is in April, and then I was getting ahead of myself. The actual scenarios, like the new chapters, are actually coming out for early access. I'm guessing if you pay some cheddar cheese for that in May or June, and they are called Code Broken, Code Purification, and I think what was the other one?
Did Way of Winter again.
Deviation.
Deviation, yeah.
Are the three there? And then you get to play them if you're not early access in July and September time. I mean, looking at this roadmap, I mean, even if Gray brings in just the image of the roadmap, the annual development plan, you'll see all the cool stuff they'll get in there. Now, listen, it's got its flaws, but it's a free game.
Right.
You can't complain too much. It was enjoyable for what it is.
It is a beautiful game.
Beautiful
it
game.
is. It's
Lots
a lot
of
fun
content.
Despite,
There are some problems with the devs being a bit greedy. Yes, it's a free game, but some of the prices they're charging for, like, there's like $300 bloody loot crates and stuff in there. You know, it's
no,
it's a bit greedy. You know, but I get it's a free game and no one's making you pay. I get that. So yeah, I will look forward to seeing that coming out, because I reinstalled it again. Where's the harm? It's a free game. I might not go back to it. You never know. But yeah, there's some of the stuff we've got there now. The article that I tried to put Matt on his tippy toes about, and I was being cruel. I'm sorry, Matt. Was these Valve rumors? I'm intrigued, mate. Tell me about the things.
Yeah. I was just looking around, see what was going on, see what news there was and everything. And I found somebody leaking rumors that Valve are planning to release their own VR gaming headset and Steam controller later next year. It's going to be, I noticed it's something else then, codenamed Deckard. Whew. No, you said something else?
No, I can't. I just can't. I can't.
It's a bit, yeah. So yeah, it's going to be pretty much an all-in-one device, pretty much like the Meta Quest 3 type thing.
Meta Quest?
Yeah.
What's the name of it one more time, Matt? What's the name of it one more time?
Deckard.
Got it.
Deckard. Commander Lieutenant Deckard.
Duckheart too. Maybe it's a Duckheart.
Yeah. It's better than having a deck. Yeah. Deck the halls of.
Oh, that's going to be a short graph. In fact, I'm just saying that right now.
Oh, I know. I've been marking them. I know. Yeah.
Deck. Holy deck jam.
What the heck is going on?
That's the guy from Star Trek Won the Motion Picture, Deckard.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
He's a rail.
Then, man. Just call me Dick.
Yeah.
For sure.
Deck Turpin.
Sure. Well, you know what? Wait a minute now. You know what's funny? Years ago, you guys should remember this, but years ago, Richard, I don't understand how they got this, but Richard's slang name was Dick.
Yeah.
And it was always that way.
It's the first thing you see when he came into the room.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, because it started getting unpopular, you don't hear that anymore.
And the British pudding as well, Gray. Remember, you couldn't get your head one.
Yeah, Spotted Dick.
Spotty Dick, yeah.
Oh, that's right. The fish, right? The fish? Yeah.
No, what?
Fish?
No,
I
what are you
was a
talking
fish.
about, man?
I thought it was a fish that was named that.
That's a different kind of Spotted Dick. Don't run away from that.
The dessert, it's a sponge. It's a kind of sponge thing, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was.
Next time somebody tells you to put on a blindfold, don't do it.
Yeah. Open wide. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know. So we got Richard Dick,
buddy. What you call it?
Sorry, Matt, carry on there. Dick Hard. What?
Yeah, so the Dick Hard is the code name. They named this project. It's going to be released somewhere in 2025, probably the last quarter, I'm guessing.
You know they're going to change the name of that.
They are definitely going to change that name.
Are they releasing it on the 6th of the 9th?
No, it's somewhere. Q4, Q. How many Qs are there?
Gray doesn't get it.
Last Q.
The 6th of the 9th?
Quarter 4.
6 and 9?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Go back to sleep.
6. Yeah, there you go. Well, you know what? They already named their Steam Deck, Dick. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. So apparently you can hold it in one hand.
I bet.
Well, we're going up the deep end now, man.
Well, yeah, that's what they said.
Trev can't even put himself in front of the camera. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's a handy little
man.
gadget. Yeah. Sometimes you have to
we're
keep
really
playing with
going
it
for that-
until it gets hard.
We're really going for that EGP after dark, man. We're pushing for that show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just remember to clean up afterwards.
Yes.
Well, we can't top that, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see you next week. No, they can't.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what comes out of that. No, it's not.
Stop.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
That even wasn't supposed to come out.
Oh,
That's
wait
what
a minute.
she said.
Wait a minute. Wait. If you look at the notes, what's coming up next? Trev's hard corner. Perfect. The timing couldn't be any better.
Oh, that's what she said.
Oh man, Trev, you gotta live this one down. Go ahead.
I don't know. Is there any more news about this?
No more news. Hard corner. Go ahead.
Yeah, get your heart bits out. Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
God. Oh, that's a hard act to follow.
I get it. But
yeah. Back to serious stuff. Let's slow deep breath. New shiny graphics cards
need a
coming out
paper
next
bag.
month, boys. Regrow your organs because you need to be selling them again next month because the RTX 5080 and the 5090 are coming to town, whether you like it or not. Fresh out of Jansen's, and not Jansen, our community, Jansen, the CEO of NVIDIA, right out of his cooker. Remember that? Was it the 3000 series? He literally took an oven tray out of his oven, filming it from his kitchen, and he had loads of GPUs in his fucking oven. He's like, look what's just in my oven cooking away, and he pulls out a bunch of 3000 series graphics cards. I really hope Jansen does that again. I love the guy. You know, he gives no shits, wears a leather jacket, is cool as hell, rich as hell, and he wants more money from you.
Yeah, a lot of money. How much are they going for? Has the price changed at all?
It was, what did we said rumors before of
1.5.
Oh, we said that we were saying the 5090 was going to be 2 to 2,500.
Two grand upwards. I mean, I think it'll be $2,000 because listen, the 4090 was $1,600. So, and we're talking about Founders Edition cards. That's what we can base it on. So I don't think they'll go up 400. They'll go to, I reckon it'll be $1,800, the Founder, or at the most $2,000. They won't be more than that, Gray. You would thought they'd be more than that. The partner cards will be more than that.
No, I was saying the 5090 is going to be 2 and
no,
up.
that's what I'm talking about. No, I'm talking 5090.
No, I still think it'll definitely be above 2.
It won't because the
1,500, I'd say.
Gray, the 4090 was $1,600. Why would it go up more than 400? For
wait and see.
Because they can.
No, you might be right, but I mean the thing is, I
wouldn't go by Founder's card because all the other cards are going to come out and they're going to be higher.
Great.
No doubt.
I need to stop you there, man. Of course, I'm going to go with Founder cards because that is the vanilla version. They come out before the partner cards. They're the cheapest cards you can get. So that's all you've got. That's your base model. You have nothing else to base it off of until they bring out the partner cards. The partner cards will be more. Yes, they'll be over $2,000. But I reckon the Founder for 5090 will be $2,000.
1999.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. It looks nice, doesn't it? Partner cards will be more. I reckon the 5080. Man, what was the 4080 though? Was it like $800 or something? What was it?
It's just under 900, wasn't it?
It was 650 or 680 for us, wasn't it, Matt? In the UK, that's actually a fair exchange for once. We're not getting shafted in the UK. I reckon it'll be $1,000 for the 5080.
5080. Yeah.
5080 will have 16 gig of VRAM, and the 5090 will have 32 gig. Now, some people might think that's a lot, and it is. But the amount of VRAM games chew up these days, like the Indiana Jones and his Big Circle, that takes a shit ton of VRAM.
It does. That's just for the whip itself.
It's a big whip, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's a big boy. So I that's future proofing yourself as well.
Yeah.
Of course I want new shiny toys. God Christ, in a vibe.
I had to do it.
What are you like? A bunch of kids, honestly. It's being clipped. Don't worry.
You people listening to the audio version, you have no idea. And what the funny thing is, when I do the video version, this doesn't come through either. So the only way you hear about it is if we say something.
How does it not come through in the video version?
Because this is only on Riverside. This is only for for the people that are participating in the call, so to speak. So we see this now. There is so no one really sees this unless you're watching live. No one sees what we print on the bottom. So for you audio people out there, and even some of the YouTube people out there, at the bottom we have our name and we have a byline underneath our name. So many times we just goof around and put these funny bylines beneath our names, and then we crack up. So when we were talking about Richard before, I put down aliens are eating Richard, except they used the nickname, and I was waiting to see if one of the guys is going to pick up on it. And usually Matt, because he thinks this way like I do.
Yeah, it's kind of fitting to my one as well. They mostly come at night,
and we're all laughing.
Because I was hosting, I was doing the thing. I can't do it all at the same time.
It was hilarious.
And then you got Dick Hart over there.
Gray's been telling people what it is. They've got to tune in to see these things.
Giving
the game away.
Don't miss out. Tune in. The last time we'll mention it. You won't know what's going on.
You don't tune in, you don't see it. This is the
I'm almost forced with YouTube to go ahead and just put it in now. I'll reproduce it and have it go in there.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You're a naughty boy. Right, okay. So, guys are putting
train of thought. There you go, out the window.
You're ruining me, man. You're ruining me.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Listen, I hear Switch is overtaking PS2 or something like that.
No. There's more in this.
There's more about the 5090, 58 we were talking about, and the 1,500 possible price tag.
We could be out.
Digital RAM. We're talking about
January, mid-February for these cards. Are any of you boys looking to upgrade your GPU anytime?
Hell no.
No.
Oh wow.
I'll stick with my 4070 Super until they come out with the 6000 series.
Oh my lord.
I'll wait for inheritance. Somewhere down the line it should come.
Look, if you
I'll
wait
before the 6000 has come out.
If we wait long enough, that you realize that there's a decent chance for a GPU/AI card coming out, and you won't need any of these anymore.
They've got AI on them, man. They've already got AI on them. That's
I'm talking about definitely more advanced the way it's going right now.
That's par for the course, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, you could. I foresee the day, and not long coming either, by the way, where you're going to have a GPU that does not have to suck up a lot of power. B can do some amazing things with games that's effortlessly
easy for you to see,
or whatever. It's all coming down. In fact, what do you think NVIDIA has gone so heavy into AI and why people are investing in all this? Because they see it too.
GeForce Now,
they're not their cards are gonna go by the time the 6000 series or 7000 series is even thought about. There's gonna be a monumental shift. And they're right there, ready for it. So
it'd be interesting to see. Absolutely.
Well, look at
it's hopefully good on the price tag as well.
NVIDIA started it.
Of course, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? They're not the only fish in the sea. There's plenty of people, in the AI. Look at the thing. What was it, Trev? I think it was you that posted it, or I don't remember. But there's Google's got the quantum chip going now.
Yeah.
It's actually working.
Well, it's a bit more than that. It's quantum computing, but they're not the only ones. IBM are in that bed as well. Quite a few of them are.
No, I agree.
Google are advanced with it.
But I think Google is taking the forefront on all this, and I'm sitting there going, "Wow."
What we're talking about. It's a good segue. We're talking about, or not? It's not a segue. Tangent. AI in gaming, right? Which should really be in Gray's section. And I'm not stealing your thunder. Don't worry, Gray.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm not stealing your thunder. It's a different article, but it is AI.
Yep.
I posted something in our Discord, and if you're not our Discord, we've kind of lost our custom URL at the moment, but don't worry, we'll get a new one. But just Google Extreme Gaming Podcast
or
Discord.
Look below,
easy enough to find us.
You'll see it.
And there's always something in the description. I posted something there about a guy called Mark Cerny, who's the lead architect for Sony. Pretty fascinating guy, very dull. Like, if you like your bread dry, you might like this guy. But he's very dull, but he's very, very geeky, informative. He went into, I mean, I had to focus for 37 minutes. You can't, it's not one of these things, boys, you put on the background and you kind of go and tidy up and you can half watch it. No, you miss a bit, you've lost your place in it. You have to focus. So I focused, rewinded more than once. What did you say there, Mark? Went back, really geeky deep dive on the technology behind the PS5 Pro. They literally invented their own version of AI upscaling, pisser, as we like to joke. PlayStation Super Sample, Spectral Super Resolution, whatever it's called. The Spectral thing is branding, apart from that, but they just put it in. They literally made their own version along with conjunction with AMD, and it's using AI. And then they briefly talked about PS6 and what the direction it will go in, and the direction is going to be more AI, because we're talking about normal graphical performance. It's called rasterization, right? And not to be confused with the reggae boys in Amsterdam, and not that rasterization. The graphical rasterization, where it's sheer horsepower to make your graphics run better, higher resolution, more frames, etc. There's going to be a ceiling on that, and we're going to hit it sooner rather than later. In fact, we have photorealistic graphics at the moment, pretty much. You can only go so many places, and you have to keep building bigger and bigger GPUs to cope with that. And there's a limit, especially with consoles, what you can do. The PS5 Pro's got a bigger GPU. It's at 30-40% bigger, but they have to go another direction. So machine learning and AI will be used to bump resolutions up higher and higher. And like NVIDIA's DLSS will get better and better. So that's where probably the PS6 will go. Yes, it'll have a bigger GPU, bigger CPU and all that, but they'll put a lot more into the ray tracing, the machine learning, the AI. Right. And that'll be the same with the NVIDIA cards, the 5000 series cards. When they come out, they will, and it's saying this in this article as well, they will lean more into the AI. There'll be more AI gubbins in there. Don't be surprised if you see DLSS 4.0.
Right.
That could be a thing. And you have to buy a 5000 series cards to get in to that club. That's very much a possibility. So I love all this stuff.
The other thing I think we're going to see happen is, you remember how I talk a lot about a lot of our modders out there that are really good at what they do? They're starting to learn AI. So can you imagine going 6 months, a year and a half from now, the kind of stuff that these modders are going to put out utilizing
That's what
AI?
I'm going to do in my uni studies as well.
Ooh.
I mean, you're going to see mods. You think the mods now are good, which there's plenty of really good ones out there. It's going to be, wow. Everybody's beginning to be going into modding. You're going to see everything. I mean, from the ridiculous to the great, you're going to see it all. So
that sounds about right.
Yep.
The other thing I've got really quickly, which I thought was cool. It's a big landmark anyway. The biggest selling console of all time is the PS2. I've had one. Matt's probably had one. Gray probably hasn't, because he went straight from the Atari to a PC.
I didn't buy it, but I bought it for my grandkids. So
I had the real good one with the the actual proper HDMI and the
Blu-ray drive? Oh no, the Blu-ray started the PS3 then.
Yeah. Maybe it was that one that had the special.
No, the PS2 had it could play so many formats of CDs, like multiple formats.
PS1
it was really good at it.
Yeah.
And it could play PS1 games. That was backwards compatible anyway. That was the biggest selling console of all time. It was always between them. Oh, here we go. Great, you dirty boy.
I didn't do anything.
It was always a thing between Switch
and, he's having a pisser.
and PS2. Who was going to be the bigger console? Who was going to sell the most consoles? And we thought the Switch would overtake it. It probably will. But then Sony came out a few weeks ago and actually we thought it was about 155 million. And they came out and went, we've sold 160 million consoles of PS2 over our lifetime.
Wow.
Right. Stand back for a minute and just take that. And that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
The Switch will probably overtake it, especially when the Switch 2 comes out and they lower the price of the Switch 1 and they'll sell more versions of that after. They probably will be the biggest selling. But they've already taken the PS2 in sales in the US alone. You guys are Nintendo daft over in the States. And there'll be more records broken pretty soon with that one. I always find stuff like that impressive because the Switch 2 is a behemoth. Credit where credit's due. So
you could kind of say the Switch is taking the pisser out of PS2. Sort of.
If you want, you could do. Yeah. I can only give you 6 out of 10 for that one, Gray.
I want to see not
In
this
boxing,
week.
you would lose that
Mhm.
card.
Trev, I want to see not this week, but I want to see you bring up the numbers next week. Like, what has Switch been selling on average? What's PlayStation been selling on average?
I've got
What's
them right
Xbox
here.
been
Do it
selling on
now.
average?
Yeah.
Got them right
Okay,
here.
great. If you got them all, let's see. Let's hear it.
Right. So the PS2 remains the best-selling console, as I said, of all time. 160 million units sold. That's a global figure. In the United States, the PlayStation 2 has sold 53 million units, which means the Switch is now just slightly over that number. There's actually another console that sold even more, the Nintendo DS, with 57 million units. However, the DS was a handheld-only console, so it doesn't take that title, whereas the Switch is a hybrid, so it kind of technically gets that title. And then it's shot up a lot, because 3 months ago it was 146 million units that they've sold, and have managed to
But are they saying
almost break it.
only? Are they only talking PS2? What about 2, 3, 4, 5 all combined?
The PS2, well, you can't compare them to that. You can only take what's the highest selling currently in the world, and then bring up its closest competitor, which is the Switch. I mean, the other ones have sold a shit ton as well, but the PS2 will always remain the most popular. I can't see another PlayStation beating that. If we're looking back at older consoles, we're looking at the NES and the SNES, it's the Nintendo Entertainment System, and the Super NES. They sold 62 million, 41 million respectively, which back then was really impressive, considering there was less people, less money going around.
What about in television?
What?
And never mind. That's going way back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I played it. It was a gaming console and television before PS.
Oh, yes, so it was. I've heard of that briefly, and it kind of
I love that name. I always loved that name when it came out
flopped.
in television. I'm like, yeah, that's good. I like that.
I flopped big time. Anyway, right, I'm going to move on from that because there's a couple of geeky, techie hardware pieces of news to get out of the way. Yeah. These Windows mobile gaming platforms, the Lenovo Go, the Steam Deck, the one from Asus, the ROG Ally.
The ROG Ally, yeah.
Yeah, we've got
Steam Deck.
Oh, you're literally pretty much just repeating all the things I just said, Matt. But that's okay. That's fine, just to make sure. This here is the new Lenovo Legion. That's the second gaming console to come out. The reason it's significant is it's the first time we're getting leaks of the Ryzen Z2 Extreme chip. Now, the first gaming handhelds had the Z1. I was going to say Z1, but it just doesn't sound the same in that respect, does it? So I'll get 1-0 to America, Gray. Z2 for this one. I tried this briefly. It wasn't for me. These little handheld, like the little Joy-Cons, you can actually plug it in to the little disc here, and you can use it like a mouse, which is pretty cool. That's literally your like an upright kind of mouse thing, like you use for the if you've got the carpal tunnel thing, or you've got a problem in your hand. You kind I'm not actually going to hold that properly, because you boys will clip that and put it out as a meme. So no,
we wouldn't do that.
You're not getting that from me. No. So yeah, there's going to be a few variations of this chip. The Z2 Go, which will be the peasant edition, as I'm nicknaming that. The normal standard Z2 and the Z2 Extreme. You always go for the top one if you're a gaming enthusiast.
I wonder if you can use it as a second or third screen on your computer.
How big is the screen? Yeah, it looks kind of chunky.
It's big enough. Oh no, it is a chunky boy, but it's an 8-inch screen, or is it 10-inch? I think it's
but if you
like
think about it, if I was making it, I would make it so that you could make it a second or third screen.
Because you can if you want to. It's Windows, mate. It's Windows. You can if you want.
Yeah.
So Windows need to get better at making a mobile platform of their OS. They're getting better, but it's still.
They can't even get Windows 11 straight. What are you talking about?
I knew. He's so predictable. I knew you'd come out with that comment. So in terms of when this will come out, we think they might show it at CES. Now, CES, for those that don't know, is a consumer electronics show in Las Vegas every January, and it is basically a geek's it's a geek's wet dream. It really is.
huge.
It's all. And to be fair, Gray's nowhere near.
No, it's on the other side of the
He's
country.
nowhere near him.
Get
but
cracking. Come on,
he-
let's go.
Like 4,000 miles. That's okay.
he's. I was going to say he's almost as quick to fly to the UK. Not quite, but there's not much in it, to be fair.
It's about 5 or 6 UKs away from me.
Yeah.
In
Wow.
terms of flight as well, it's like a 6
Right,
hours,
yeah,
6
6 hours,
hours
yeah,
for you to
yeah.
fly to the UK, and it's probably like 5 or so hours for you to fly to.
5 to 6. Yep.
Yeah, so
Depending.
yeah, it's about 6.5.
Wow.
We will probably see this console here, and they'll probably release the Z2, and I hope they do, because the Valve won't release a new proper Steam Deck until they have a chip worthy of actually bringing out a new one. And this console, Gray will put something like this in After Effects, I'd imagine. 8.8-inch screen, OLED, stunning. You want an OLED in these things, look really, really good. Of course, you're going to have your Z2 Extreme here, and that's a SoC, a system on a chip. The graphics card and the CPU are on the same chip, an SoC. And it's 8 Zen 5 cores and up to 16 RDNA A 3.0 compute units. That's the ultra geeky stuff for those that like your stats out there. It looks very similar to the other one. I mainly bring it up just because of the new chip. We're going to start seeing that pretty widespread throughout 2025. I would love to own one of these permanently, but I don't really ever go out in my flat. So it's kind of wasted on me, really. It's for those that commute that would want to play
I
this.
commute, but I don't really. I'm not really a mobile gamey.
What do you do in your commute then, Matt? Do you just listen to podcasts?
I just
and
listen to
shit, music?
podcasts, watch the video of me over and over again.
I bet you do. YouTube.
Just the bloopers. Yeah.
YouTube it. I YouTube it.
And then
Um,
Spotify music says it.
Looks at everything that says Eating Richard, things like that.
Yeah, that's
Hating
it.
Richard.
Yeah.
Hating
They mostly
Richard
come at
is
night.
Terrible. I've got more AMD news, boys. Sorry, but this is because we're up to CES. There's going to be lots of this.
Yeah.
New shinies from AMD. They're probably going to unveil their Radeon RX 9000 RDNA 4 GPUs, and
Wait,
that will be
What'd you call it? A Radeon?
Radeon. What do you call it?
Radeon.
Radeon, potato,
That's
potato, tomato, Radeon. Hey, Gray, you've got a cheek to tell me how to talk. Half the things you say in your US English, don't get me started.
The best comeback ever.
He's got a cheek to talk. That boy cracks me up. Right, this is the stuff we eat for dinner. People that we come from a PC custom background. All the latest technology, cards, whatnot, and I still want to make that a big part of this podcast because I love that stuff. First and foremost, we do.
We like looking at 5090s that we'll never buy.
Things we can't afford.
Yeah, and then cry on the side.
Yeah. And then just realize why you're turning a bit like, yellow because you've literally missing a kidney or something. You've just bought a 5090.
No, I figured out a way to solve this though. What you do is you two guys move over here to the States, at least for like 3 months a year or something. We all chip in and buy a 5090.
We don't fancy getting shot, Gray. You're okay, mate.
And then we take turns playing.
And we don't like
computer.
Trump either.
Yeah. We can always move to Canada.
No,
paying people to move there.
Could hang out with Trump and get shot.
No. Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Free ear piercing with every bullet.
You move over here and you won't get shot, and then you can hang out with us.
Either way. No, I'll just get stabbed to death. But that's another thing.
That's just London. That's London, mate. That's fine. Don't move to London. You're fine.
Just stay just outside.
Come to London for the best knives in the city. Hey,
that's it. Yeah.
Come to Edinburgh, you'll be good, man.
Automatic sharpening at every corner.
Oh, man.
Who needs the butchers anymore? That's it. Yeah.
Although there's some
only
nutters,
tested.
There's some nutters where I stay. I literally went to the post office earlier on, and I missed the last post because a guy stopped me. He's literally got from the top flat. He's got a power cord going all the way down to his van on the outside on the street where the car parking is for power. He's got off-road tires in this thing. He's got the foil you use at the windows to reflect the sun. He's got that so you can't see in there. He's getting ready.
People make hats out of. Yeah.
He's getting ready to take his bloody van to Morocco. He's bought a bit of land and he's like doing everything up inside this van. And he wouldn't. He was telling me about his plans, which I love because that's my kind of vibe. Like I live in a really small place. I like all that kind of stuff. and he wouldn't shut up. He would like I'm going to miss the post office, mate. I'm fascinated, but I could not get a word in. This boy kept on telling me about his plans. And do you want a van? I'll get you a van. You don't need to pay me. I was like, right, I'm out here. You're nuts. You are nuts, my friend. And that's my point being, yeah, you could get stabbed going to London, you could get shot going to the States, or you could get talked to death by weird people in Edinburgh. So we've all got our quirks. We've all got our quirks.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's definitely going to have to get marked because that is gold.
A million ways
anyway,
to die in the West. There you go.
So CES, January the 6th onwards for several days. I think it's a long weekend thing. We're probably going to get 2 or 3 new GPUs from NVIDIA, AMD. I'm really hoping, gentlemen, that AMD actually bring out a card that can compete in the top end, considering they do well in the low to the mid range. They never compete at the top range because, NVIDIA will be like, oh, you brought out a new card that would rival the 4090. Well, hold my beer. Here's a 5090 that blows it out of the water, and we charge what we want.
Yeah, they're going to actually use that at the LAN party at CEX, the 50 series.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Already in there.
It's
deep and juicy.
I won't get too geeky with some of the stats on it. I think we'll see the GPUs and maybe some more CPUs as well. They've already released some CPUs, but there are rumors certainly that there might be Radeon RX 9070 XT. It probably won't compete with the 5090. Let's not beat around the bush. CPU wise, we could see 1 or 2 more. That rumored Ryzen 9 9950 XT could be a thing. 16 cores. I just love all this new shiny technology that comes out, even if I can't afford to buy it. FSR 4 might be a thing that's released. That's their AMD's free version of the DLSS.
Pisser, yeah.
Pisser. The Pisser alternate. The alternate Pisser.
Yeah.
Well, I figure
that could be a thing.
Pisser 2 will be coming out, followed by Pisser 3.
Oh, yeah, of course it will. Yeah, they've got to compete, man. They've got to compete, baby.
I remember the Pisser Fisser, so it all kind of works.
Yeah, that's it.
What was Fisser again?
FSR and Pisser Fisser.
Oh,
Don't you remember? Weeks ago.
Yeah, true. I think that's clutching a little.
And by the way, if you people haven't seen it, go on our YouTube channel, look for the shorts, and there's a Pisser Fisser short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was going to get. I was like, oh, here we go.
There's going to be more AI involved, of course there is. We were talking about that just a matter of moments ago, and that's probably going to be the case here again as well. Like I said, I may end up getting AMD stuff in my next rig, which I never ever thought I would say that. Never ever thought I would say.
I never thought you would either.
Side.
Yeah.
But if Intel are going to be crumbling and oxidizing and rusting and underperforming in the bedroom on the motherboard, then I really don't see the point. Really don't see the point at all. So we'll see. We'll see where we go.
I always go back and forth.
That is enough super technical geeky news for you guys here.
How are we doing on time?
AI's got his grey corner. Grey's got his AI corner.
AI's going grey.
Yeah, but how are we doing on timing? Because I could always dump.
We have 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, no, we don't. I tell a lie. We get 25 minutes.
Still enough.
There you go.
Yeah.
I saw this was kind of interesting. When I was looking at the Gamer Awards and stuff, they were showing different trailers for stuff. And there was a trailer that came up for a game called Catly. It's going to be based on a cat, of course. So basically, you're working these cats through the case of the game. But when I looked at the trailer and I thought to myself, I don't know, man, because you saw the cats changing color and looking really AI-ish, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, and this, oh, okay, so they're utilizing some AI in there to make it look at how as good as it looks or whatever, or it just had that feel to it. If you look at enough AI stuff, you get the gist of what I'm talking about. But if you don't, take a look at a lot of the AI stuff, and you'll start being able to pick out things like this.
Yeah.
So when I first saw it, that's the first thing I thought about. I said, no big deal. I mean, fine, use some AI stuff, and if it works for your game. Ooh. Well, other people apparently saw this too, and they all were thinking like I was, that, oh, this is AI. And then the company comes out and says, no, it's not AI. It's not generative AI. They didn't use that. This is just made by their engine or whatever. And I'm going like,
Yeah,
I
it smells
don't
kind of
know.
fishy.
It sounds real fishy because I'm looking at it going
Yeah.
like, I don't think so. I mean, it just doesn't have that look to it at all. And if it did, and if their engine was that great, you would see it all over going like, hey, this is the latest, whatever in AI.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm kind of agreeing with some of the people, and I'm going to be curious to see whether it comes out that they actually did do it or something, or if somebody decides to, mention something about it. But we'll see. We'll see. But I
Right.
just thought when you look at it, it was just like, yeah, I don't know, man.
It's got that kind of quirk.
Yeah, and I wonder what the game's going to be about. But I mean, like I said, it's all cats, and I don't real original name, Catley. But anyway, like could have come up with something like Catley Pisser, or no, like
Catley goes to market.
Catley goes to market, right? So I just thought I would just throw that in there. Not a big deal, but I agree with them. It just does. I think they're fibbing on this one. Come on. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Matt, you get some interesting Sega. You got to say. You get some. What the? Well, that's getting.
There it is. That's the better one.
That's clipped. You get some Sega news for us, lad.
Sega. Yes, is it? You
sound like Popeye on some kind of drug.
Sorry, this has turned into a riot, people. You're getting a Christmas riot. You're either going to get into trouble off your other half when doing the dishes for our potty mouse, or you've unsubscribed. Either or, I'm really sorry.
Or a sack from work. There we go. So Sega is indeed considering launching its own game subscription services.
Drum roll.
Yeah, there you go. So Sega's president, Suji Utsumi.
That was pretty good.
Thank you very much.
That was pretty good. I thought you were going to butcher that.
So mentioned in an interview with the BBC that they are exploring the idea of a Netflix style kind of subscription service for video games.
This will that one.
Yeah. This would allow gamers to pay a monthly fee to access their huge range of Sega titles rather than owning them outright. So another way of not owning something that you pay for. Fantastic. Love it.
As usual.
Yeah. So this move has been seen as a way to accelerate the transition towards game streaming, similar to the Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, Ubisoft, that type of shenanigans. There are concerns that these could lead to gamers having to pay for multiple subscription services, as you would, wouldn't you? You wouldn't just have one.
We're all doing that now.
Yeah. Maybe you can fish, go from one to the other, depending on what's out. You never know. And it all depends on the price as well. This so-called exciting development for fans of Sega's classic games. There are quite some good ones and IPs. We shall see if this is a good thing or not. I hope it is. They got quite a bit.
Do you know where it comes from, Matt? There was
Sega.
You're paying attention for once.
Yeah.
That's good. Now every time you say it, you literally go Sega.
Sega.
No, it was coming from an article online where
it was.
They were a bit pissed off about people literally trying to pirate their games and all these kind of mini consoles they used to bring out in the past, these
emulations and all that.
Emulation, you can put an HDMI port in it and blah blah blah. And they saw people and they're looking at Nintendo, their online service with all the old games, and they're seeing that there's money to be made from it. So they want a piece of that pie, and that's why. And they've got enough. Sega make brilliant games. They do. I'm just gutted they don't. I was sad that they went out of the console market, mate, because the Mega Drive was my favorite console of all time. I genuinely love that. It's my favorite retro console, and they literally just went down the toilet after that when Sony came out and blew them out of the water. So they'll never come back, I don't think, with a console. But if they do, I would buy it because
maybe
it'd be interesting.
Maybe they'll sell controllers that work with their subscription service to make it feel like it's the old
Well,
days.
Something.
you get
Yeah.
that. Well, you get that with Switch Online. So you pay money for a subscription service, and you can actually buy a NES controller, a SNES controller, an N64 controller, and they have some of their Sega games on there. You can buy the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis, you call them in North America. You can buy that little controller, and it just connects in a Bluetooth way to your Switch, and you can play it like this way. I've used one. I wouldn't buy them. I don't think they're a rip-off, but it's just the retro feel. It's lovely.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's nice to have the retro feel. I think it's nice.
It is.
Yeah, I
100%
can't remember
it is.
where it all began. Well, sort of now at the end. Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to come out with Pong again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do Pong here, man. That was good. Sega hasn't released any specific details or about which platforms they're going to potentially using their game service subscription. But there speaks that it might be available on multiple platforms from PCs, consoles, PlayStation, and mobile devices, but that hasn't been confirmed completely.
Okay.
So it'd be interesting to see how that goes.
I think if they price
It'd be something. It might bring them back from the dead.
Yeah, if they price it reasonably, meaning translation somewhat cheap, I think they'll do better. But we'll see.
Might get them back into the publishing.
No one's going to do it.
There's they're all coming out with remember cutting the cord when cable and satellite had the big. We've talked about this before. They had the big package where you could get all the channels and the sports and the movies and blah blah blah, right? And then the streaming services started coming out, the Netflixes, the World, the Primes, and then we thought, screw you, cable satellite company. We're going with these streaming guys because it's literally we're paying for what we want rather than all this crap, and it's too expensive. We're now getting back to that again. So I reckon, we'll be sick of all the streaming services. We'll go, screw you, streaming services. We're going to go back to cable and satellite, and then it'll be in a bloody constant loop. I reckon that's what Sega are doing at the moment. They want a piece of this streaming pie. They're seeing Game Pass. They're seeing other things. Sorry, Sega. You got every time. You've got to say it the right way. And they just want a piece of the pie. So great. You can if you want. Do you want to talk about your PC games? Because you're not. Were you going to? What was your plan?
We could have a couple of you.
Were you going to talk about every single game in that list when you had the time? Because there's a lot of games.
Yeah, that's why I put it where I put it. So we'll do it next time.
Yeah, yes, we will. Because I'm going to literally. Okay, see next time, guys. If you see me like making funny noises and I'm not really moving much, I've painted open eyes on my eyelids. I'm totally not falling asleep while Greg goes through every single faking game in that list because there's a lot of games.
No, I looked through the article. I think we'll be interested in it. It's not too bad. Anyway,
all I see is that guy from the news thing on Gremlins.
Next week.
Game. We're doing a little Christmas gaming news then.
Gremlins, don't get them wet.
Yeah.
Kinky.
How would you feel about these games?
Time for the gaming quiz, boys. We'll squeeze that one in. I thought it would be more Christmas themed. Great, shame on you, but that's okay. You do the hard work. So
be more what?
Christmas themed.
No, it's not. Just
well,
right at the bottom is
it's too late now. I didn't. I wasn't really thinking about it. Well, I could change. I could change the way I word the question. Like
put
ho 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 in between.
Yeah, something like that. So we'll do the question number 1. We'll start off. We read the question. These two guys guess at it, and they've been doing pretty good over the last couple of weeks here and there.
I'm going to do a bit bad at this one. Spoiler alert.
I think Matt's somewhat in the lead of some of this stuff. Okay, in what year? In what year did Sony announce they were developing a PlayStation Portable? The winner will be whoever gets closest to the date or gets right on it. So what year, ho ho ho, did Sony announce that they were developing a PlayStation Portable?
Now, did the portable come out before the Vita, or was it the Vita?
That's
first?
The thing, PSP.
But which one came out first, Matt? The PSP or the Vita?
Remember asking for what year?
The Vita was first.
I think the Vita was first.
I think it was first as well. Then
I think the Beta was first. Yes.
Yeah, and then the other one was right. Okay. So when it was announced before it actually came out, I think it came out in something like 99. So I'm going to say It usually gets announced a year. I'm going to say 1998. 1998.
1998. Okay. What about you, Matt?
Zach bought one. So that was when we were working for H&F. That would be 2000.
See the gears working in his head. I can hear them.
Oh, I went to
2000,
back, haven't I?
2006.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's the second one. It's the second. Oh, I made an arse of that. That was the second one, not the first one.
Sega.
Well, remember now it's going to be whoever was closest. So
No,
the
I'm not going to
answer,
win that.
the answer is 2003.
So you won by a year.
Looks like you won.
You won
Matt.
by 2 years.
Damn.
I actually
2003.
I literally just read it out to myself aloud, like, oh yeah, well, that was the first one, and that was the second console, and yeah, I've still gave the wrong. Oh my god.
Nope.
Love
Right,
it.
move
I love
on.
confusing you.
All right, here we go with the question number 2.
Right.
What game series is known for the phrase, "It's dangerous to go alone"? Take this. Again, what game series is known for the phrase, "It's dangerous to go alone"? Take this. Ho, ho, ho.
Sounds like me visiting.
Is that how they say it?
Yeah.
What?
That could be anything, PC, console, whatever.
Crossing the road simulator.
Yeah, there you go. Be like Frogger then.
Dangerous to go alone. I don't have a fucking clue, man.
It's gonna be no.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's Nintendo.
It can be anything. It just says game. So
I was thinking Mario or something like that.
It's a franchise.
Yeah.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. I have no clue, mate. Sorry, I can't even guess because I would literally.
Well, you guys were kind of close when you said Nintendo. It's The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, I was actually going to
okay.
say Zelda, but I've got nothing to base it off of.
That's 2 Trev could have gotten.
Take what?
Didn't.
Take
Yeah.
what? Like take what? Take what? What's he taking? What?
It's pisser.
Yeah, you're taking a pisser. That's it.
Yeah.
Gray. What's he taking?
Sword? The flute.
It
Richard?
probably is a sword. Probably is a sword.
I don't know. It says it's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
It must be the sword.
So it must have been the sword or maybe the shield
Or happy envelope. Yeah.
or something more interesting. Anyway,
Okay.
Something
on to
for the
number
NAS.
3. Okay, this one might be tough, but I remember this when it happened.
You've been harsh this time, man.
Uh-huh.
You've been
In
harsh.
2011, an online puzzle gamer solved what biochemical mystery? In 2011, an online puzzle gamer, in other words, a gamer, solved what biochemical mystery? I remember this
Harry.
because I thought it was like amazing, actually.
Harry. I can only remember his middle name. Yeah.
Well, I'm not asking for the name of the gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want his address? No, go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. It's like, think about it now.
What online puzzle? Scribblo.
Nope. But I'll read it out to you.
Oh, I know. Is it
What?
that pharmacy game?
What?
You know that old pharmacy game where you
pharmacy simulator.
Yeah, this where you have all these chemical things and you put them together to.
Yeah, well, if you can name the game, I mean,
I
you're
can't
kind of
remember
on
the game because it looked
angle.
interesting. But
No half points. No chance.
Can I look it up? No, I'm not gonna look it up. I don't know. Farms something.
Okay.
Pharmacy.
Here we go. In 2011.
Pharmaceutical.
In 2011, online puzzle
Farm me now.
gamers. Let me finish the damn answer.
That's a question.
Pharmatata.
In 2011, online puzzle gamers playing the game Fold It solved the structure of a key enzyme involved in the reproduction of an AIDS-like virus in monkeys, a biochemical mystery that had stumped scientists for years. And I remember when this happened because everybody was going like, well, how could he have done that in a game and puzzle game? And then the scientists couldn't do it. So essentially the game is what led to be able to, and actually what came from this game was new methods to be able to detect some of these things, all from the puzzle game. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Well, there you go. A little known fact, but it's actually a well-known fact to some people, but not to you guys.
No, we don't give a shit. Nah.
Wow,
Oh,
what a bloody
nice.
question.
Wow.
Bah humbug to you as well, Gray. I know you don't technically support Christmas, but you don't have to be a proper bloody Scrooge,
What?
man, with that
What?
question.
Can we still
My
get the turkey
lord.
for Christmas, though, sir?
No, he's Scrooge, this guy.
I got
a
it.
horrible question.
Now, don't make fun of me. I won't put Santa's mistress in the YouTube.
Santa's mistress.
He's
Right.
singing everything now as Sega.
We are going to wrap this up because this is turned into a shit show, which some people might love, but it's all over the bloody place. Call it Christmas holidays.
That's right.
I don't know. Who's
Love
texting
it.
me? Go away. Oh, Amazon, give me a refund. That's okay.
Instead of saying Sega, you say Tangent.
No, you make the jingles then. We'll get Jansen to make jingles for us. That could be a laugh. Listen, on a serious note, I touched on this before. Thank you to everyone who listens, watches over the year. We appreciate all the support. And for those that are on your Todd for Christmas, even if you didn't choose to do so, you're not completely on your Todd. We'll be coming in your ear, and you'll be sick of us by the end of it. So I did, yeah, because we will be.
Always,
the audio will be coming into their ears. Holes.
Oh, we're being distinctive now. That's a good idea.
Yeah. That's what I mean by that. You're getting mind out the gutter.
Well, it's better than pissery in your ear.
So, on a serious note, lads, we on behalf of all of us, we do appreciate you so much. Well, he's on the funny juice, that boy. I'm telling you, he is on the. What is it? Is that an Irish coffee?
I know pills.
Oh,
meds.
That'll be it. Yeah, that'll be
pain
his
thing.
meds. Yeah, it'll be his meds. Made him a bit loopy, mate.
That's why when he was trying to talk, everything was doubled, so he's kind of like, whoa,
it was.
Whoa.
He's all over the place. He's having a good time though. Don't drink and drive. Don't take.
I'm on the favorites. Yeah.
We will. On behalf of all of us, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thank you.
And we will have a show in before the new year, and maybe we'll cover Gray's article about the best games at end of year special or something. Maybe it'll go. Oh, actually, won't go more than. Maybe it'll go more than 2 hours. I mean, I can do 3 parts in TikTok. It just needs to be worth the while.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It will. It is.
Right, lads. We're going to sign off there. Thank you all again. Talk to you soon. See you later.
Bye-bye. Happy Merry Christmas, Hanukkah.
Are you finished?
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you.